Everybody, I hope you're doing well. Listen, I want you to hear this comment. I totally agree with the person is saying. The cost of living is crushing people. And it's to a point now, people, aren't living. I think when you think about living, you can afford the basic necessities, maybe a little extras here and there, and you can breathe a little. You don't have to wake up wondering, gee, what's today's, is it going to be a nightmare? What bill am I not going to be able to afford? Gee, how much will I be able to afford groceries today? Feed the children. School supplies? How many parents do you think are going to have money for the school supply list? Someone's going to come up short, and then other parents are going to pretty much take up the slack when they provide everything for their children. But let's check it out. And again, as I said before to a person who is older than I am, it's going to get better. It's going to be okay. We've been this way before. You think? I think we're looking at uncharted waters. All these people have these college degrees and cannot find a basic job. So check this out. I find this very interesting.
We normalize something that should scare all of us. I don't think this generation is afraid of working hard. I think we're afraid that no matter how hard we work, it'll never be enough.
Yep.
We watched our parents work one job, buy a home, raise a family, and still have something left over. Now people are working 40, 50, even 60 hours a week and still wondering if they can even afford groceries next Friday. We don't celebrate paydays anymore. We calculate how long the money's going to last us. That's not living, that's surviving. And I don't think enough people realize what that would do to someone mentally. It changes the way you sleep. It changes the way you think. It even changes the way you dream.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to imagine a future when all your energy goes into surviving today. Y'all let me know in the comment. Does anyone else feel like life has become something you survive instead of something you actually live?
A lot of people feel that way because that's the reality. That is the reality for so many Americans. Oh, getting paid, yay! Because why? People aren't getting excited because time they get paid, the money goes away. One lady, she and her husband both working. Anniversary time, woo! Already checked the check. All they wanted was to just go out for a nice dinner on the anniversary. Would love to do it. They couldn't. Why? The bills wouldn't allow it. It's that bad. Would love to go ahead and do it.
Realize something that should scare all of us. I don't think this generation is afraid of working hard. I think we're afraid that no matter how hard we work, it'll never be enough.
The hard work doesn't pay off, especially when they want, if you're lucky, 3 times the rent. I've heard crazy numbers, 5 times the rent. So if the rent is $1,000, you want somebody to make $5,000? We have people in education that can't even get a basic job. You got to be kidding me. Why do you think so many people right now are living in their cars, going to work every day and living in the vehicle? May get a motel every now and then. And people are scared. They're just trying to hold it together. That's what's going on. Trying to hold it together.
We watched our parents work one job, buy a home, raise a family, and still have something left over. Now people are working 40, 50, even 60 hours a week and still wondering if they can even afford groceries next Friday.
And some people can't once they pay their rent or the mortgage. And the food pantry, good luck. A lot of them are running out because some of the people that were donating are now they're trying to receive. They used to be the ones donating. Now they're there, hey, they need the food pantry to help them out. Over 4 million people have been cut from the food stamp program. And it's so hard to qualify. I saw a video, where in the world, daycare. One lady said they're paying $32,000 a month in daycare. What? You got 2 kids? That's crazy. I mean, a year. $32,000 a year. That's daycare. That's exceeding the mortgage in a lot of cases. So yeah. The dream is over. We now have a nightmare. They're seeing our parents work one job. How the heck Americans sometimes get 2 and still can't afford to get a mortgage, still can't afford the rent. A full-time job and a part-time job, and it's still not doable. It's still just not enough. this is where we are again. A lot of people feeling this way, but I think people are just trying to keep it together. Part of, unfortunately, what I've been saying, the civilized silent purge, when you just can't even afford the basic necessities of life. It shouldn't be this darn hard to get a darn apartment. This is crazy to me.
We don't celebrate paydays anymore. We calculate how long the money's going to last us. That's not living, that's surviving.
Yep, and a lot of people are in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, that is so true. It affects your total being because you're all hyped up, hyped up. Why do you think? It can be a small thing and people just totally lose it. You're like, whoa, just calm down. They already are hyped up. And so, at least little thing go wrong, they might just lose it. Americans, there was a study. Americans can't sleep at night. Why? Sitting up there worried about these bills.
And I don't think enough people realize what that would do to someone mentally. It changes the way you sleep. It changes the way you think. It even changes the way you dream. Because it's hard to imagine a future when all your energy goes into surviving today. Y'all let me know in the comment.
And a lot of people don't want to think about a future because if you really, 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 really think about it, a future, that's a joke. You're right. So much energy is put in trying to survive for today. Look at all these job eliminations. Where do you think the 401k is going to come from? First of all, if people get laid off and they cannot find replacement income, then where the heck do you think a retirement, a pension, or 401k is going to come from? Where? Look how many people, social media, they were doing great. TikTok, and man, I've seen some nice checks. Whoa! That's been cut down. Basically, and I think that that's what they want, living hand to mouth. Hand to mouth. You wonder why people freak out when they lose a job because they're like, oh my gosh, they know. What are the chances? Why? They've seen other people lose their jobs and what happened. So yeah. It not only affects how you sleep, it affects whether you sleep. People up at night worried. Because you can go from sleeping in your home, your apartment, your house, your condo, to sleeping in your car. So yeah, a lot of people are worried. I think people are just trying to keep it together. But this right here affects a lot of Americans.
Or we work, it'll never be enough. We watched our parents work one job, buy a home, raise a family, and still have something left over. Now people are working 40, 50, even 60 hours a week and still wondering if they can even afford groceries next Friday.
Isn't that something?
We don't celebrate paydays anymore. We calculate how long the money's going to last us. That's not living, that's surviving.
And that's how you know it's not sustainable. If nothing is improved, I don't see that happening, unfortunately, just my opinion. The only other thing when it's not sustainable is the collapse. It's like having a table. Put a whole bunch of books on that table. Now put some luggage on top. You must have some iron legs or something. Is that a wooden table? Okay, put a bunch of books on it. Now some luggage. Now some more clothes and some more books and some more objects. It may collapse. And that's what's happening. And the politicians are not addressing it. I don't see it. Where is the effectiveness? What's going on? We know what's going on. How do you fix it? Then on top of that, we got a war where the gasoline prices are higher. And now the water is not safe. The water's being targeted. Wow, really? It's going to be great, guys. Yeah, not. That's why people are so hypervigilant. So much is going wrong. Why? People aren't living, just surviving. Just surviving. Degree or no degree, not living, just surviving. Parents had one job, they made it happen, got two, and it's still just not enough. So a lot of Americans feel that way, and if there is no change, we are looking at the collapse. The empire is no longer empire. The math is a mathing. The empire is not empowering it. It's not. The empire is not empowering anymore. Looks like the empire is going to collapse. Let me know what you all think. Try and protect your peace at all costs and your mental health. Because when you're in constant survival mode, it affects you mentally, and the mental can affect the physical. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share them out.